Welcome, Walton. You know I gotta get my sounds in. One more again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a special guest with me this evening. This is he was like, when I first started my channel, I was like, bro, I seen him on Instagram. I was like, bro, do you want to do an interview? He said, yeah. So I give him a lot of credit for just inspiring me to where I'm at now. I'm not really big, but he was just talking about how we done the first one and where we came at. It was just funny. So what's happening, man? What's happening?
Dog, what's happening? What's happening? What's going on, bro? What's happening? Yeah, man, it's been a minute since that first one, bro. We both was you know what I'm saying? But it's funny to watch now, though. You know what I'm saying? It's still cool to go back and look at it. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Everything good my way, man. How everything going? How everything going your way?
Everything is good. Hey guys, make sure y'all congratulate my man. He had his first daughter. We were supposed to come last week, and his wife came in labor, and he couldn't do it, and he rescheduled it. And I was telling him, I said, bro, your daughter is a Gemini, and he's like, that's right. And I was like, oh, you're gonna see. So congrats on you on your new baby girl. You know what I'm saying?
Right on, so, bro. Right on, bro.
So for the people that don't know, let's get right into it. Tell us what the RogueWolf project is all about. Your BullHerder program. Let's get right into it.
Okay, right on, bro. So when I first got started, I'm gonna take y'all all the way back to the beginning.
Take us back.
Without being too long-winded. When I first got started, my history in dogs, I had everything. I've had every breed. I've been a breeder. I've been a breeder probably over 30 years now, but in a specific breed, I did pit bulls probably the longest, and that's kind of where my RogueWolf dog started at. I had a bunch of Eli dogs that I was doing a ton of stuff with. I was doing a bunch of things. What up, Chad? What's happening? The guys in here. Okay, that's what's up. I was doing a bunch of stuff with those dogs, and as my life changed, things that I needed out of the dogs changed, right? I started traveling more, and I started to do more stuff on my own. I needed certain traits, right? So I started to look. I didn't want to abandon my dogs that I had, and as a breeder, I kind of understand breeds a little differently than most people. So I know I didn't need a specific breed. I needed specific traits. And I'm a breeder. I'm a handler. I'm an expert handler. I'm a breeder. I'm an expert trainer. So I knew that I didn't have to go far. I could do it all on my own. I just had to find a dog. So I took one of my last dogs. It was an Eli dog to a Mal. And the dogs I got from that were so fire. But prior to that, though, I had BullHerders prior to that. They weren't called BullHerders though at the time. They were just kind of mixes, something that I did because I liked the certain dogs. Those earlier BullHerders, they were just kind of the dogs I had. I had to bred the dogs I had instead of looking for the traits that I needed, right? But as I got into the RogueWolf project, I wanted to be specific. I wanted it to last. I wanted to get all of the things that I actually need out of a dog. And so I took that Eli dog. I found this family that had Mals. This is 10 years ago. And so the Mals that they had at that time, they wasn't like the Mals you see mostly today. I always tell people, like me personally, if I'm going to look for a good dog, I'm not going to be so much breed specific. I'm going to go to like a farm, right? I'm going to go to a farm where this dog has to do everything in order to live here. It can't just be one-dimensional, two-dimensional. In order to survive here, in order to live here, it has to do everything. Because in order to have those dogs, they're getting tested in all those certain ways, right? They're not just there saying the breed should do this. They're actually being tested to see if they could do that, right? And if they can't, they're not there, right? So the Mals that I found were like that. I was thinking about going either Mal, Border Collie, or what's the Merle dog? I can't think of the name. The Australian dog. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Great Dane.
But the Mals,
okay.
Yeah, the Mals that I used just kind of gave me a little more toughness, a little more size, and the family of Mals that I used, the way they were using them, they were testing them for brains, for adaptability, for ability to pull, ability to protect, ability to alert. They were testing them for all of these things. So I asked the dude who had one, I was like, hey man, I want to take my dog to one of your dogs one day. And one day he hit me. I didn't think he was going to be that fast, but he hit me. I took my dog over there. We knocked it out. I got 4 of them. I got 4 of them, 2 males, 2 girls, two males, 2 females. And out of that came Moon, my foundation female. And then from there, it just went out. Moon came, man. She gave me almost everything I needed. She was highly trainable. She was tough. She was super suspicious early. She matured early. She was maturing early. She had great nerves. And when I say great nerves, I don't mean just like she hears a loud noise. She hears no. If I take her into some water, she goes right into it. I put her on a new surface, or we have to do some elevation changes, quick elevation changes, things like that. She is bang. She's right on it. Instant, easy, super easy recovery. I mean, she's just an all around great dog. And then, so as I'm traveling, I'm noticing things that I like and things that I wish that I had. And so I bred her a few times, and I got dogs out of there. And I started to build the program a little bit more. And that's really what it was. I think when we first started this, I kind of was like in the mode of like, I'm going to create a breed, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create this breed. And then as the BullHerder kind of became more popular, my thing was just like, I'm going to create the dog. I'm going to create the dog I need every single time. The breed will come, because it takes building a community in order to do that. And building the community is kind of slow. It's kind of slow if you want to do it right. If I want to just sell puppies, if I want to just throw some shit out there, I can do it fast. But if I want to do it right, man, I'm going to enjoy the dog. So, and I gotta create the dog first, and then the breed will come later. And that's kind of where we are today. I don't want to get too far ahead. I don't know what questions you got, so I don't want to get too far ahead, but I'll keep going. The first few litters, I got some fire dogs, and I'll still use those dogs. They are fire. But then Soma came, right? So I had this idea, this direction, this look, this feel, and then Soma came, and I'm like, I would be crazy to not go in this direction here. That's why, it's like I said, the dog mattered more to me than the breed. And the dog that he is, from doing it this way, changed. It kind of like shifted it. You know what I mean? So that told me, okay, don't worry too much about the breed just yet. Get the dog, right? You know what I'm saying? Get the dog you need every single time. If I'm going better than him, then I gotta get the dog first, and then the breed will come in. And that's kind of what RogueWolf Project is all about.
Yeah, so that's what's up. So now, are you from the Show Me State? Or are you from North Carolina?
I'm from the Show Me State. I'm from St. Louis. When we did the first interview, I lived there. I'm back in St. Louis now, but by the time we do another interview, I'll probably be back in North Carolina.
You are from St. Louis, because I heard they say if somebody from St. Louis, you got to ask them what high school they went to. What high school?
I went to McClure. If anybody want to know, I went to McClure, and I was there. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't unfindable. You find me. You know what I'm saying? I was there, and I was outside. You know what I mean? Like I went to McClure. I'm from Ferguson. I'm from North County. You know what I mean? Like I could put my shit out public. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I went to McClure. Yeah, and that is a big thing here. Yeah, you're right. That's a big thing here. Where you went to school, that's a big. That's like what hood you from. Yeah.
That's
our high schools at that time was so crazy, bro. We had in our high school a smoking section, and it didn't matter how old you were. You could go outside and smoke a cigarette. You'd be freshmen outside smoking cigarettes. I mean, it was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was crazy, bro. So yeah. That's where I was at.
That's what's up. So the RogueWolf Project. So let me ask you this to get in, because I want to know how, because growing up, I'm sure you grew up in similar neighborhoods than me. We don't really like necessarily want to be dog meat. We kind of just want to play football and basketball, to be really honest with you. So did you always love before you even got the pit bulls when you was a kid?
Yeah.
Was you was always on the right track? You wasn't like getting in trouble or nothing? Like, or the dog save you? Tell us about that.
So yeah, man, I was just like everybody else in those neighborhoods, bro. I was, especially because like I said, I was outside all the time. I was never inside. I was everywhere doing everything. I got in I did it all, bro. He say back in my days, knew what's happening. But yeah, I did it all, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you come here and you ask about me, man, I'm certified as far as like I'm telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I did all that. But dogs were always a part of it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like we grew up in the housing complex, and in that complex we had this huge shed. It was huge. We had a bunch of houses around it, ton of kids. I mean, just a bunch of single parents, little kids. So you're gonna fight, you're gonna play basketball, you're gonna play football, you're gonna play baseball, all of that shit, bro. I did it all. And but at the same time, this huge shed, it would be stray cats and dogs having puppies under there. You know what I'm saying? It would be because at that time it was, dogs lived outside at that time. And I remember being the only kid. I'm climbing up under the shed to go get kittens out of there and playing with them. And my mom told me to I can't keep them. I didn't have nobody in my family was into animals. I'm the only one. I didn't have like a mentor or like a family member with a bunch of dogs I could play. I had to get my shit outside, bro. I had to go outside, but at the same time, yeah, I was hooping too. I played basketball. I did it all, bro. I mean, I'm a hood star, and dogs just happen to have come along with me. If you go to anybody who know me in St. Louis, they're gonna mention some things, and dogs would be one of the top 3 things. They gonna know if I'm coming, even if I'm just coming to visit, it's a dog in the car. That's how I always been. My friends would be like, we gonna look at cars, and I'm looking at a nice car, and they'd be like, why are you looking at that car, bro? You're just gonna put a dog in it. And I used to get, and when I was younger, that would offend me. I'm like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth. It's the truth. I don't need no beans. I'm just gonna put dogs in this mud. You know what I'm saying? So I always been that way. It started out with like any animal. I would catch snakes. I would catch rabbits. I would catch, you know what I'm saying? And then dogs just kind of became a lot easier to get, to find. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, and it's been since a child. I just had a better natural relationship. I remember being, say, no older than 12, and adults would have litters of puppies. They would send their kids to come get me, like, hey, what do I do right now? What do I do about this? What do I do about that? What do I do about this? You know what I mean? And I got all my information from books, whatever nature show I could find, and I would just apply my understanding of nature to the dogs, and it just took off from there. I mean, to this day, people treat me like I went to college for it or something. Like they treat me like I'm a professor of dogs, and I'm not. You know what I mean? But it's because I had that. Nobody gave it to me. I had to learn it all on my own. I had to do it all on my own, and I've been doing this since as far back as I can remember. My biological father, he did have dogs. He did have dogs. He had pit bulls too, and I would be. You go visit him in North St. Louis is just what we call city. It's just like the hood everywhere, right? And I would be a 10-year-old kid walking around with a game dog, doing wild shit unsupervised. A cat in my alley, go get him. You know what I mean? I was doing this wild shit, you know what I'm saying, like all the time. But in doing that, I was learning a lot. It sounds like a bunch of craziness, but it was putting me so far ahead because I spent so much time with the dogs. I had to understand habits. I had to understand, like I said, I had to understand habits. I had to recognize everything the dog was doing and what it meant, and then how to communicate what I wanted back to the dog at a super early age. My first time breaking up a dog fight, I realized, okay, I need to be able to I need to be able to know what the dog is telling me, and the dog needs to be able to know what I'm telling it, because I'm 11 years old in the middle of the hood, and no grown-up coming to help, anybody coming to help you, you know what I mean? So, it's been in me since as far back as I can remember. I don't know where it came from.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't know where it came from. It just, like I said, it just from the far back as I can remember, it's just been in me, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So speaking on the RogueWolf project, so you got into the dogs. You was dealing with some Eli dogs. When did you realize like I'm onto something? Because we know that just because you start your own line that they ain't gonna turn out great. When did you say, okay, I know you mentioned Soma, you mentioned Moon. When did you realize like take us into that one and also telling people what your BullHerder, what type of jobs that they're good at?
So I knew I was on to something probably a little bit before I kind of got into the BullHerders, because before the BullHerders, I did band dogs. I had gotten a band dog and he was fire. He was incredible. He was so nice, but he was a super liability. He was a super liability. And so
Okay.
when I
So
when I
when you Lord, he was like extra aggressive and
he was
sit like
yeah. He was so aggressive, bro. When I sold him, I sold him to some dudes. They came and met him. They came and hung out with him for like 5 days. Every day they came and hung out with him. They were finally able to put him on a leash and get him into the car. They paid me at this is probably 15, 20 years ago. They paid me about $800, which was a lot for just like a random dog back at that time. And they took him home. They went to work. They called me and was like, "Hey, bro, we can't get in our house." It was like, he is trying to kill us if we get in the house, and he bit my brother. Can you come get him? He was that. He was,
wow,
and he was probably 115
wow.
pounds, super athlete. He was kind of like some Sentinels. He was kind of like that, big, tall, super athlete, but he was a demon. So when I saw him, I was like, okay, how would I get all that, but not have not to that extent? And at that time I had been breeding for a long time at the time too. So I probably been breeding 10 years. So I knew. So I did my first band dogs, and they were fire because I was checking everything because I didn't want that. So, and then when I started doing my pit bulls, my strictly pit bulls, I did like Saint Bernards, Rottweilers, Bull Mastiffs. I had a bunch of dogs in between that I bred and did stuff with, American Bulldogs. But when I would do my pit bulls, what I was doing, everybody around me were breeding based on papers, right? Bloodlines, papers. And and my dogs were consistently better than theirs because I wasn't doing that. I was breeding the dog that I saw. What does this dog need to be better than that dog over there?
Clip, yeah.
You know what I mean? I kept doing that. I didn't care about no papers. I would see who's working, who's doing what, and I would see what would work for me as far as like how I like to train dogs. Who could I communicate with? Which one of these dogs can give me that? And I was smacking people out the park with my dog. So by the time I got into RogueWolf project with the BullHerders, the toughest thing I thought was going to be finding the right dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I almost messed that up a few times. I mean, but I luckily I never went with those studs or those whatever. But when I found that, I knew immediately. I knew immediately I was on to something, because at the time I had never heard the term BullHerder at the time. At the time, I knew I had something that was different. I knew I had something that was going to be highly trainable. I knew that people also were going to be confused as to what it was when they saw it. And that kind of gave me a little bit of advantage too, because people would see Moon and just kind of be unassuming. I think like, oh, that ain't nothing. And then when those dogs turn up, not only are they turning up just like these other people's dogs, but the finished product is better, right? She gonna bite, she gonna hold, she gonna fight, she mean it. You know what I'm saying? She gonna do it in the car. I can sleep at night with no, you know what I'm saying? These are all things that I knew going into like certain competitions or certain things with other dogs or dog men. I knew that, and I knew that I would be that way. Back when I was doing pit bulls and these other breeds, because like I said, people were just breed to breed, right? They were just kind of staying within that breed lane, and say Rottweiler to Rottweiler, right? Just any old Rottweiler to any old Rottweiler, and I was never on that. When I had Rottweilers, I went and found the best working one that would go with what I had, not just any working Rottweiler too. It had to go with what I had and go with my vision. And so I knew when I got into these dogs that I would that I would be like ahead of the game. I knew I had something when I like before they even dropped. I knew I had something. But and then about 8 weeks, it started showing me that everything that I thought would come to fruition came. You know what I'm saying? So at that particular point, what I wanted to see like a level of maturity for a certain age. I think 8 weeks was kind of early. It was earlier than I thought. But I mean, and then I kept checking it. Right. Let me see if what I'm seeing is real. Let me see if what I'm seeing is a real thing. And every time that it was, I'm like, okay, let's move on to this next thing. And after a while, you're like, okay, yeah, no, I got something here with these dogs.
So if I'm a client looking for like a dog, who are some of your clients? What type of clients do you think your dogs would be suitable for?
So that's one of the things that, this is a thing that you learn like over the years. Like it's changed over the years. For my RogueWolf dogs, I need somebody super knowledgeable, right? I need somebody super knowledgeable, because you got to understand that if you watch my dogs and you like my dogs and you say, man, those are some badass dogs, you got to understand everything I did to get them there, not just who the parents are, right? You need to understand everything that I set up to check them along the way, the position that I put them in, the wins that I gave them, what happened in the losses, how they recover from those. You got to understand all of that. So for me, the best person to get one of my dogs in my mind, somebody super knowledgeable, somebody who is looking for knowledge all the time, somebody who's looking to be better all the time, somebody who's going to be active with the dogs. I really don't need somebody looking for something one-dimensional. I don't got that. I'm not breeding for that. I'm not even going to pretend with somebody like that one aspect is all that I bred for. Because a lot of times people say, oh, they bite, I want dogs that bite. And I'm like, well, hold on, because they do more than bite, right? There's a lot of other shit in here that you need to understand too, and how we got them there.
What are some of the...
You say what? You broke up, bro.
Yeah, let them know what they like. Let them know what type of stuff that they do. Like, can you people that hunt get your dogs, predator defense, protection, sport?
Yeah. So,
what activities can your dog try? Yeah.
So they would be, my dogs could do sports. They could do any action sport. I call PSA, PDC, all those like bike sports. They could do any of that, no question, in the hands of the right handler. Again, in the hands of the right handler, they can do it all, bro. And I showcase that my dogs. They can retrieve, right? They can do, and what I mean by that is, like, I've never had them retrieve, say, like a duck, right? But we simulate that in certain ways, right? To see if they understand what they're doing, if they're able to get the message, do the job, right? And then do it consistently. And then if they like it, right? So they could do that. They can do, like I said, any bite sports, hog hunting, there isn't much that I haven't tried. Frisbee, you know what I mean? Like diving, walking, all of it, bro. The drive in them is so high, and the willingness to work for me due to our relationship is so high that any person who's going to come and spend and build a relationship with them, you will get them to do anything. And the people who have gotten my dogs who are like that, I get that feedback from them every time. I just got off the phone with somebody who has a puppy, and she's so proud of that puppy already. I mean, she is so looking for, and she has sport dogs. She has all this stuff, but this RogueWolf dog that she got,
guys, I don't know.
Dogs are pure dogs. And this dog is showing out, bro. And he's no question. He's a no-brainer. I'm like, you'll be able, in her hands, anything she wants him to do, he'll be able to do. I mean, he's showing he's tremendous already. And so it's nothing. I mean, moon skateboards. I mean, there's nothing you can't do with these dogs in the right hand. And at the same time, they're tough, right? They're tough, they're smart, highly trainable, great with the family, natural guardian instincts, natural suspicion of strangers. They're not a dog who's going to back up. And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted too when I took Moon to Zorro, when I created Soma. One of the things that I want is a dog that is going to is never backing up, right? You know what I'm saying? I want a dog that's never gonna go. And I don't really knock those dogs because I understand how you get them, how that happens. But I didn't want that.
Yeah.
And all my dogs are just like that. All my RogueWolf dogs are just like that.
That's what's up. So you saying so people do sports, predator defense, hog hunting. Can you take them to the show ring? Can you take them to the show ring?
I can do anything with these dogs. So I will say this: Major, not so much. Major, he's dog aggressive. He gonna kill somebody. but I'm
Major,
okay with
that. Y'all, Major is bad. That's what I'm trying to show you. Major is a bad boy.
Yeah. Major is a demon. Yeah. Major, not so much. But everybody else, bro, we can do whatever, anything. I mean, we are out doing any. And Soma, I think it's 4th of July. Yeah, I think it's 4th of July. This year, there's a frisbee competition from my house, and it's just a little. It's about 100 people in a circle. You go and sign your dog up to do a frisbee competition. If you saw Soma work, you would be like, you are crazy to put him in, have him off leash, but he gonna do it. He gonna do it. He gonna have fun. He ain't gonna think about nobody else. But he gonna do that frisbee. He gonna run back to me, and you know what I mean. Like he can go from a frisbee competition to a bite work competition. He can go from a bite work competition to hunt hogs the next day, and they've done this over and over. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's really not. It's not anything that they can do in the right hands, bro.
So for those who's coming in, I'm here with my man Lamont, the scientist, and he's talking about his RogueWolf project. So if y'all got questions, make sure you ask him, because, like I say, if you're looking for BullHerder, you better holler at him. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that. I can tell, and I can see that the way he deal with his dogs, he really put a lot of time in there. Tell us more about. Say if a client already has dogs, is your RogueWolf project dogs able to live with other dogs? Because I noticed the way you got them going along, which is amazing to me.
Yeah,
so they're not too dog aggressive, or how is it? How break that down for us?
So like within our pack, they are not dog aggressive at all. I mean, they can play on the same tug. I mean, it is a matter of like, they do have to understand, like, have some respect for each other. It's like a level of respect they have for each other. And it can go up if, you know what I'm saying, if some, you know, but they never do here. But yeah, I have every dog that has gone into other hands has gone into homes with other dogs, and they're just fine. My dogs, even my females, do seem to be kind of dominant, but not necessarily aggressive to dogs outside their pack. And the thing about that is that when I have dogs, I'll keep some around. And if I have one that is overly dog aggressive in the pack, I'm probably not going to breed that dog. I'm probably not going to breed it, because it's one of those things that I don't really want. I don't really want, if I got another dog in the litter that works just as good but is not dog aggressive, then that will be my dog right there. The one that is dog aggressive, there is a need for that. I'm not the kind of person who thinks that no dog should be aggressive. So I'll find a place for that. But yeah, for the most part, I will only breed the ones who kind of fit everything. And dog aggression inside the pack, if you can't live in the pack, because that's how I like to raise my dogs. If you can't live like that, and again, that's to an extent. I don't expect if one dog is eating food and the other one goes to his bowl and them not to fight. I do expect them to fight. I don't expect that if dogs are in heat, which I have right now, my males not to want to fight. Even though they don't, I got 3 dogs in heat. My males are cool. They ain't out running the yard with each other. You know what I'm saying? But they're in the yard with each other, and nobody's trying to do anything. Someone's loose right now in the yard, and Major's outside in his kennel, and they cool. But yeah, I won't breed that. My dogs, if I give it to somebody else and they breed it, and then that's on them. You know what I mean? But a dog that you get from me shouldn't be very dog aggressive within his own pack. And I don't know if I can't think of one that I've had that has gone out that's dog aggressive to the dogs in his own yard.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know,
together to this day, and they're 4 years old.
I think that's brilliant. That I attribute that to your ability to performance selection and your ability to read dogs. Would you say that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Because I'm reading everything, bro. I'm reading every single thing. I'm reading stuff that people, because I had to grow. I had to learn dogs this way. This is how I had to learn dogs. You know what I mean? So I read everything, and I don't put together shit that I don't need. If it's gonna make life hard for me, even say like a dirty dog, right? I had a dog. It wasn't one of my dogs. I had a dog that I really liked. She had a ton of good stuff, and she was a super dirty dog though, and it's there's a level of that it's manageable, it's not trainable, it's not
Do you
fixable.
mind? Go ahead and break down what you mean by dirty.
Pee shit in the cage,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
happily do it, don't whine to get out,
yeah,
roll, be
yeah,
all it every time you put them in there.
yeah,
You
yeah.
expect some piss and shit and up until, you know what I'm saying, until they're grown. You know what I mean? Like I know dogs, I know people who deal with that problem, and they come to me about training it out. I'm like, it's you training it out is about managing it. It's about changing your schedule,
Yeah.
putting the dog outside a little bit more, things like that. You're not gonna the second you cage that dog, it's probably gonna, you might get a good week out of the dog if you know what I'm saying, if it feel like being but nice, but you come home one day, it's gonna be covered in shit. It's gonna
Yeah.
wag all over the wall. You know what I mean? It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, it over and over and over and over. And even things like that, my experience tells me that's not nothing, right? To me, when I look at a dog, everything is something. Everything is something. And when I see something like that, that's not nothing. And I do not want that, because that kind of thing can be passed down to the puppies. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't want, so I got to check every single thing on the dog before I decide to go
That's
forward.
crazy.
And I give it some time, you know what I'm saying? But
So tell us, break down the differences between your males and your females, starting with the size, the average size of your males and females, and also more the differences for the people that's looking worldwide that may one day have a RogueWolf project, one of the
so I'll
best
say this,
game.
my males, of course, are bigger. I think Soma now is about 86 pounds. I think Major is about 85 pounds, which means Major will be bigger than Soma. Major will be 2 this year. He'll be bigger than Soma, even though he doesn't look like it. But he's not as heavy, like he's not as dense muscle as Soma.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But he, excuse me, he might get there. My males are a little less independent than my females. My females are a little bit more independent. My females also seem to be a little higher prey drive than my males. Males are high prey drive. My
Mm.
females though are harder to turn off when there's prey, right? So I can see a squirrel or a rabbit run past Soma. He'll do that, and hey, no. I tell him, and he's like, okay. Hubble ain't no telling her no. Ain't no e-collar enough. Ain't
Yeah.
no prong enough. I mean, I can get her to but she is tense. She's on it the whole time, which is why with her that's my hunting dog. My females, I say my females are my hunters. They like to hunt, bro. Everyone that I've had, the prey drive has been so high. My males get busy. The outcome is the same, right? With on prey, the outcome is the same, but the drive is a little bit different. My females are a little bit more drivier when it comes to prey. My males are a little bit more willing to do toy stuff, right? Frisbee,
Yeah.
fetch, stuff like that. My females, the reward has to be high, or it has to be a competition. If they're running with another dog, oh, they'll play the game all day. But if I take her out by herself and I throw a frisbee and she smells a squirrel or a deer, she's gonna go get that squirrel or deer. You know what I mean? She rather do that than play some game. Like she'll do like swimming games. She loves that kind of stuff, ironically. But my females are a little more independent, little higher prey drive. My females are a good size too. Hubble is a nice size. I gotta weigh her, but I mean, she is if you stand her, like, she's no joke.
How big females, like average 65, 70?
Yeah, I say Hubble's about 70 pounds. Yeah.
And Hubble is Major's litter mate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I gotta ask about this one. I know you rehomed her. What's up? Do you got any updates on my girl Gray? He had another puppy.
Damn, bro, that was
Gray was bad, bro. I'm
Gray
telling
was,
you, she was bad, bro.
she was a monster, bro. She was a monster. So yes, I do have an update. I've never said this publicly to nobody. So here's an exclusive of what happened to Gray. That was my girl, man. That was
Let me give him some context. This girl was so bad, and he was telling me he wasn't sure if he was going to rehome her. And then he actually ended up rehome her. I was telling him, no, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. But he still did it.
I should not have done that, bro. I should not have rehomed her. She was fire. And I do have access to some dogs off of that litter, but they ain't Gray. They're nice. Gray was the top of the top. Some males are nice too, and one of the other females is pretty bad too. But Gray was kind of like on that major level. She was kind of like him. Everything was a 10 to her. Everything was worth all the action to her at all times. I had a homeboy who really loved my dogs. He loved what I do with my dogs. He really loved them. He wanted a dog that was kind of plug and play. He could just take it right then and there, and he can just have it, and it's gonna be with everything he wanted to do. And we had plans. We were gonna take her back to Soma and do this and this and that. And then he had some issues at the crib and gone, bro. That broke my heart. Not only did it break my heart, that's when I started saying, because he's no joke. He's nice with dogs. He ain't no slouch. He ain't just no anybody. But stuff can happen to anybody. Life can happen to anybody. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm just gonna breed for me from here on out. If you get a dog from me, you're lucky. You know what I mean? No matter who you are. If you get one from me, you're lucky. And I'm just gonna do it for me from now on. And like every once in a while, I might give. So I am gonna do it. So this is another thing most people don't know. I have a bulldog project that I'm doing too. Those dogs probably go to other people. I'll probably sell some of those.
American bulldogs or pit bulls?
Well, I'm using Soma to do like a bulldog style dog. So kind of more American bulldog-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. But I think people can handle those a lot easier than my RogueWolf dogs. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, great gone, man, and that breaks my heart. Thinking I just posted some pictures of her today and looking at her like,
I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, and I tried to convince them. I was like, man, please don't give me. I did that, wasn't I? I was like, bro,
bro.
I told her.
I don't even want to yell, bro. Yeah, that broke my heart, bro. It breaks my heart still, man.
Like sometimes on TV, if you're not in person, of course, but sometimes you can look at certain dogs, you can see certain. You just can see certain things, you just can see. Yeah. It's not 100%, but sometimes you be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So
she was, and the thing about it is that, so the week I sold her, I took her hog hunting. The week I sold her, he had already paid for. I was like, I'm gonna take her hog hunting, and she did so good, bro. She was, bro. I hate to sound like I'm exaggerating about how, you know what I'm saying? That's how good she did, bro. She was no joke. Right to it, bang, hit it, running I'm like, oh, because my focus was Soma that day. She was just kind of took her along, and she got loose. And before we knew it, she was on it. I'm like, dang. I'm like, this is
young right here. And she was young.
She was young, less than a year old, bro.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. She was serious, man. Oh yeah. So
that's the thing. Moon does that though. I've never had a litter of dogs from Moon who didn't get busy like that. From the top dog in the litter down to what I call like the babysitter in the litter, right? All of them will get busy like that. You know what I'm saying? When it's time, bro. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those who just coming in, I'm Jalik, the student. I got my man Lamont, the scientist, RogueWolf Project. It's streaming to both of our sites simultaneously, so you'll be able to make sure y'all go subscribe to him. He got one of the I'm saying it. I'm telling y'all right now. He got one of the baddest BullHerder programs in the world. How do I know? Because if you listen to him, he's telling you how it's not about pedigrees. That alone right there puts you so much ahead of the competition, because some people they like pedigree whores. They just think everything is pedigree. And it's like a lazy way. It's like the lazy man's way of breeding. Of course, you want to look at pedigrees, but you got to do the performance selection. And and
Yeah.
that Lamont does. So tell us, do you have any secrets? First of all, how do you even be picking the top puppies like that? Because Gray, you sold other puppies, and Gray was your pick. Major was your pick. So how do you? What tips you got for us? I know you got some tips for us
So
for the
yeah,
people that pick up puppies. What are you looking for?
this is what I do when I have a litter. But when the litter drops, right before I breed the dogs, I do like an assessment on the parents and all that kind of stuff. The parents are 100% checked before I breed them. But the day the puppies drop, I'm checking everything then too. Right then, I mean, it probably starts. I probably give it a day or two, right, and then you can start to see certain habits over and over and over. You can see who's hogging nipples. You can see where they like to lay. Who's going far from the mom. Who's kind of climbing out. You know what I'm saying? These are all things that happen before the eyes open, right? You can kind of see certain things like that. You can start taking them and seeing how they respond to scents, how they respond to touch, and all of that stuff. You kind of clock it. Some people will write it down, but I do this so much I can remember. I can kind of clock it. And so I had the name Gray picked out before I picked the puppy, right? And on day 4, who that puppy was different than who that puppy turned out to be, right? As they started to go, I'm like, oh no, that's Gray right there. You know what I'm saying? About 3 weeks, I'm seeing who can track a rag and who likes it, right? Right. The first time, who tracks it. The second and third time, who understands what we're doing now, right? Now they see the rag and they know what we're doing. And it's 2-3 days later, you know what I'm saying, after 3 weeks over, when they can track it, they can start to move. And you just pick up this stuff. Who's the dominant female? Who's the lead male? I always look at litters. Like, I look at it like, okay, I'm gonna trust nature, right? And in most pack animals, nature will kind of give you like a top dog, 1 or 2 top dogs. It'll give you 1 or 2. Let's say use lions or something, or any otters or dolphins, whatever. It's gonna give you a 1 or 2 males who are like the top, who kind of have most of everything, and then you're gonna have the fighters, the hunters, the alarm system, right? It's kind of what nature gives you in most kind of like pack animals like that. They don't all turn out to be the alpha, the leader of the pack, right? They're all capable to hunt, to grab, to fight, to defend, and all that kind of stuff. I kind of look at that. I kind of look and see where everybody fits in that spectrum, and you can see it pretty early. You can see it. You can see that kind of the direction pretty early. Now, a good or bad handler can change that. I always say I'm an expert handler. I'm not a good handler. I'm an expert handler. So but a bad handler can change that. A bad handler can take the top dog and make it not look like or feel like the top dog, and a good handler can take the second or third and make it look like the top dog, right? So, but I start checking 3 weeks everything. I don't slack on the stuff that I need. If I need prey drive, how can I simulate that to kind of see where they at, see how they feel about that, and I'll do that, and I'll see who feels a way about it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I know what's real, right? Because you might have a good day one day, but if you're doing this Monday, Tuesday, Monday through Friday, okay, I know what's real, right? Now let me check some other things. Let's go for a car ride. Let's see how y'all respond to that. Let's go outside and let's see who is how you feel about strange people. And I can just watch, right? I can just watch reaction. Who's indifferent, who's happy to see them, who's nervous when they see them. We just walking past, we're not getting pet, we just walking past. All that stuff plays. If people are walking, right? People are walking around, we in a big place, I got a few puppies out, I want to play with them. Who's not too concerned with all this? Who will play? Who will kind of focus on me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking up all of those things, and these are just things that I know I'm going to need because of the way I like to train dogs. These things don't tell me who's necessarily the best dog if we leave them alone. This tells me who I'm going to be able to communicate with the best, on top of what kind of things you have naturally too, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at all that, and I'm doing it every day, every single day. And by 9 weeks, I mean, really by 6 weeks or so, I kind of have an idea based on my ability to train the dog and what the dog is naturally. I think people when they get ready to pick a puppy, think about how you like to train. Don't just think about the dog. If the dog cannot respond to how you like to train, you're going to have a tough time getting that dog to its highest level. And that's kind of what I want to do with every dog. I want to maximize the dog's potential every single time and just see what that is. And keep it real about what that is. If it's breed worthy after I do that, then we're going to do something. But if it's not, then it's not. You know what I mean? But
that's Major right there, right? That's Major, or is that?
That's Hubble.
That's Hubble right there. That's his sister right there. Okay. So that's, let me see if I think Ray Major was in the other one. No, that's still Hubble. Let me see. I'm gonna find it. So how do you what are some, how do you, okay, so you're great at picking the dogs out. How do you know when to start them? How do you know when to start them on protection? Now what's the good time frame to start them on protection? And what style of decoys do you prefer with your type of dogs? Can you break that down a little bit?
Yeah. So each dog is different as far as like protection, and it kind of depends on the decoy you choose to. I like a decoy who's going to build the dog up. I don't want a decoy that's just like, come on, we're going to throw them into all of this shit, because I don't raise them that way, right? I'll show them. Let's say let's say I want a dog. I have a dog that I take my dogs to playground and teach them how to do the slide and all that kind of stuff, because it builds a good nerve. I can test their nerves on all these things, all these variables, right? But I introduce them to things slowly. We're gonna do the steps first. We're gonna do this part of the playground second. We're gonna do it over and we're gonna have fun. And then we're gonna kind of gradually, I'm gonna slide down with you. We kind of build up to the point where now I just let you go and you can go do all this shit. Use fun till you ain't scared. I like a decoy who's the same way. And so the dog, when to take it to bite work or to start to do that, just depends on the dog, really, right? So say the puppy I have now, what's her name? I got somebody else, can't think of her name. Lobo, right? Lobo's brother, we took him 2 months ago and he was on it. He was ready. Lobo is still very hyper. She's not as mature. So I kind of look for a level of maturity and a level of suspicion to humans already, right? Okay. If the suspicion is making the dog come backwards, we probably not going to bite work for a while. But if the dog is standing still or going forward, when that starts to happen, I'm like, oh, okay, now it's time to go. Because even in bite work, you're not going to start with a bunch of pressure. You're going to start with some tug and all that kind of stuff. That's the other thing. I set my dogs up to kind of be ready for that part of it, right? We already do tug and all that kind of stuff. We already flirt pole. We already do this. When we get there, we're going to do that and we're going to breeze past that. Now we're going to see who you are when a little bit of pressure is put on you. And the pressure could just be lifting your hand or kind of give it or kind of posturing. It ain't smacking them. It ain't going crazy. And I'll see who they are. I want to see who you are, how you respond to it. Whether you, like I said, whether you back up, stay still, go forward, or happy to see the person, right? You know what I mean? So it really just depends on the dog. But I watch all of those things. At this point now, with these dogs, with my RogueWolf dogs, I know they'll all do it as long as I kind of work them up to certain things to get past. And I check them at home. I'll check certain things out. I'll see how they feel about. So I'll take a dog, I'll have something, and you can just kind of push it back, right? How you feel about that? Are you mad about it? Are you happy? Or you think this is play? And how do you kind of, and you register that, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of understand how to go about getting this dog into protection work, right? If the dog is mad or growling and all that kind of shit, oh, okay, you feel a little tough. You feel, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you know, like you make the decisions around here. But a dog that wants to play, I'm okay with that too, because we about to play the hell out of this game. You about to love this game, and then we'll see how you feel about defense a little bit later. So it all really just depends on the dog. But the decoy style I like is one who's going to build the dog up. I really don't need a bunch of defense. My dogs bite. You know what I'm saying? They bite. They mean and you know, I want to. Me personally, I want to know that you mean it when you bite. Right? There's a lot of dogs in bite work who just will bite. It's a tug, it's a toy, it's a suit. They like the game. They will bite, but you take all this stuff off and do any of this stuff, they probably ain't gonna bite. My dogs want to bite for real. So at this point, I understand the dogs, and then it just depends on the dog, really. You know what I mean?
So if I was a breeder looking to, do you do collaborations with other breeders, or do you like? How does your outcrossing work? do you do your own outcrossing or do you work with other people? You mind telling us about that? And
Well, yes,
also, if you
I'll do
work,
both.
yeah.
Gray was a collaboration. Gray was part Predator Defense Dog, and I did a collaboration with them. And
Oh,
because I love those dogs, I had went and worked some of those dogs, and they were incredible. They are a super slept on dog out there. Predator Defense Dogs. They are nice dogs. Yeah, I mean, and again, if I'm looking, like I said, I'm always looking to get the dog I need. Whatever gets me the dog I need. If I got to go to somebody and do a collaboration, or if I just got to go do like pick a stud, what I'll do if it's an outside dog, I'll just check so much shit. I want to see. I got to go see it. I'm not studying. I'm not committing to stud to a dog I've never seen. I want to see it in action. I hope to see some other dogs off of it, or in the family, see how they're working, to see how they feel about the same things naturally, and then see if that goes along with my dog, see if it fits my dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll do that. I'll do stuff like that. Anytime it works to get me the dog that I need, I'll do that anytime.
Now, for those who just coming in, make sure y'all smash that thumbs up. I got my man Lamont, the scientist from the Show Me State. What's happening? Look, so for people, because we like, I'm into performance over pedigree, but when it comes to pedigrees, you do kind of like want to know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like the background. What's the DNA of your dogs, basically? What's the DNA? What's in your dogs?
Moon came from a bunch of Eli. So Moon came from a bunch of Eli dogs. But I told you I did band dogs.
To people who don't know, in case, because some people don't know. Yeah.
Moon came from Eli dogs. But what I did in those Eli dogs, I told you I had the band dogs.
No, explain Eli dogs to them. Some people know what Eli is.
Pit bulls from bred down from the Eli dog. They're not really. I don't know how much related to him they actually were to that dog, but the guy who I was getting them from most of the time, he that's kind of what he said. Again, I'm not a pedigree. I'm not huge on that. I wanted the performers. My friends who were doing the same time, they can read the pedigree, run that shit off like nothing. But they dog.
Eli is Floyd Boudreaux, right?
What?
Floyd Boudreaux from
Louisiana.
Rest in peace. He just recently passed away. Floyd Boudreaux.
Yeah. But so I had pit bulls. But in there, I had taken one of my pit bulls generations back to a band dog, and I didn't really. They were nice, but they just ended up like medium height pit bulls. They weren't like band dogs. They didn't feel like that. So I brought that back into my Eli dogs or my pit bulls for a couple of generations, and then there's some Corso in there, kind of in there, very little Moon. But I took that dog to some mouths. Again, these are farm mouths. These were farm dogs. These weren't like sport dogs. They were farm dogs. They were rugged, dirty, big, heavy mouths. And then so in these dogs, I have another BullHerder. I took Moon to in her first litter, and those dogs are nice. Then on her second litter, I took her to an American Bulldog. That up until this last litter was my best litter of my RogueWolf dog so far. Her third litter, I took her to the Predator Defense Dogs. Those dogs came out fire too. And then I just took her back to her son, Soma. And so Soma's dad is from those American Bulldogs fire. Those are, Confederate Kennels. Confederate Kennels.
Okay.
Confederate Kennels dogs. So that's some Eli pit bull in those dogs too.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then some Johnson Scott Crawford dogs in there too. So that's what's in these dogs. That's kind of so. And then so Major and Hubble, though, their mom Apollo was also a BullHerder. She was bred the same way as Soma. She just presented more herder, right? She's American Bulldog, Pit Bull, and BullHerder, just like Soma. She just shows more BullHerder traits physically, but she's the same way too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you saying the average size 85, 70? Okay, so that's a great size right there to be able to,
Perfect size, man.
perform.
To be honest, Soma, for what I use him for, as far as like man work, he's probably too big, right? He's
Wow.
probably too big because he's gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? You probably lose something if I send him. I hope it's not him. If something ever happens, I hope I don't gotta send him. You know what I mean?
You gonna say Hubble? Because you said Major is just as is nice. He the same size almost, right?
Major don't got that head that's just Major don't got that. He don't got that power that Soma. Because Soma is 50% of this American Bulldog. This American Bulldog ain't just any American Bulldog that I use. These are powerhouse American Bulldog. They are nice, big, powerful, athletic, strong, fast. You ain't getting away from these dogs. You know what I'm saying? And Major's that on top of a bull. I mean, someone's that on top of a bull herder. Major's a little bit less than that. He's a little bit less than that. Just enough to he's still gonna mess you up. But Soma's he's gonna do some damage. He's gonna do you bad. So I hope it's not him I gotta send. If a person was broke into my house right now and I can get to my dogs, I'm going to get Major. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to go get.
Let me show you guys. I think this is Simba. This is Soma right here. Let me try to bring the screen up. It's been acting up. I don't know. It's because I don't know why it's acting up, but let me see if I can. I believe this is Soma right here. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I believe.
That's Soma. Yeah, that's Soma right there. Yeah.
Check out my man Soma.
Soma bites hard as hell. It's that he bites hard as hell. You want him out?
Yeah, he's on my hand.
Out.
Out. He's good. We're definitely gonna put him back on another one.
He is.
He just smacked.
You see how big an 85-pound dog is, y'all.
The thing about him is he is dumb big. Hold on, give me 1 second, bro. I'm gonna get a charger from my laptop. Give me 1 second.
Do you think? Yeah, there you got it, man. We wait for him to come back. So yeah, if you guys looking for a dog that can hunt, predator defense, protection work, make sure you holler at RogueWolf Project. And like I say, he's definitely about that performance over pedigree. We love the pedigrees, but at the end of the day, like nobody cares that your great Gantal was a grand champion if the puppies that he making can't perform. So that doesn't mean nothing. And remember, guys, I always say this: Michael Jordan's children did not make it to the NBA, but then you have somebody like Rick Brunson. His son last night, Jaden, is going to be a Hall of Famer, and he just got a championship. And the Knicks ain't win a championship since 1973 when his daddy Rick was born. And Lamar Ball, who's wasn't great at basketball, he got 2 sons. So pedigrees is cool, but it's all about that performance.
Yeah, man. Knowing where the dogs come from is absolutely necessary, right? You know what I mean? But it don't mean everything. It don't mean everything. I know a lot of people talk about genetics, this and genetics that, but the thing is, like, you have to have good genetics as a handler too, right? You got to have that too. It takes all of that in order to get a dog, to make a great dog, right? You could breed dogs and you can put in great potential, great ability, but in order to maximize that, it's going to take a great handler. There ain't no great dogs out there in the history of dogs. There ain't no great dogs without a great handler. Mayday, we wouldn't know who he was if his handler wasn't able to maximize his potential. So
makes sense.
The pedigree of the dog and the pedigree of the person behind the dog means a lot.
That makes a lot. So Kyle, shout out to my man Clyland in Florida. He about to get his dog Cypress the Sentinel on some hogs. He said, how's the learning on the American Bulldog mix? I had one on the farm a while back.
Fire, bro. That's the thing. That's the other thing that kind of I was worried about as far as taking Moon to those Bulldogs. So I'll keep it real. I'm usually the one thing. So I try to look for everything when I'm doing these breedings, right? I don't want to go and get size but lose drive, right? I want to be able to get the size and not slack on the drive. One thing that I thought I would slack on is the ability to learn, right? the ability to be trained, right? The trainability. I thought I was slack on that, but I did not. So much he trains like a herder. Everything I take him to. I mean, it's like just like that. When he knows when we are in work mode, right? He's about to learn something, and he goes crazy trying to figure out what it is I want from him. And once he gets it, he is on it. Bam. Everything I teach. So in bite, someone wasn't a big barker, right? And he didn't bark a lot. And we wanted to get him to do that in bite work. So I took him out one day and I'm trying to teach him to bark. But at the same time, like earlier that week, we have been working on a bunch of other stuff. So as I'm kind of going through my progressions of how I teach dogs to kind of communicate with me, he's doing everything. He wants me to throw the frisbee. He's trying to do every trick he knows, right? Because he knows what mode we're in right now. He's like, okay, I should be doing so. He wants me to do something to get this. What is it? And that kind of dog, you can teach anything. And so much, I mean, it's through the roof, bro. And that's the other cool thing about him. I want to start a bulldog program with him. If I could keep that in bulldogs, fire, bro. Fire. That'll be nice.
That's amazing. Let me bring up my nephew. This is nephew Major. I believe this is Major right here, right?
Oh, that's Hubble.
Oh, that's Hubble, his sister? Okay,
yeah. They all get busy, bro. They all get busy.
Let me turn the thing off so they won't get there. Okay, that's Hubble too. Okay. Wow, I thought that was they look just alike, basically. Her Major.
Hubble got a red collar on, Major got a blue collar on.
Oh, okay.
That's Hubble. Like I said, they all get busy, bro.
And that's your pick female is Hubble and your pick male is Major.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Y'all know where to go. If y'all heard it here first. If you go get a BullHerder and you're not satisfied, don't go out there and be. I told y'all to go. I told y'all. I'm telling you, and he's not paying me for this too. I'm not getting no money or nothing. I'm telling you, if you want a good dog, I'm telling you where to go. I'm telling y'all. Yeah. So oh, you had a American Bulldog. Yeah, American Bulldogs is American Bulldogs. I heard they're amazing. They different than pit bulls.
Yeah,
I heard are they less dog aggressive, or you get some that's dog aggressive, but they can still, because I'm hearing they work on a farm, so it's obvious that they can't just go be too prey driven to kill all the livestock, right?
I think it's just I think it's the same with every dog, bro. It really just depends on who you get it from. It depends on who you get it from. It depends on what their priorities were, how they bred it. You know what I mean? You can go get some American Bulldogs from the same line and still. But the guy over here, he likes dog aggressive dogs, so he's breeding those. And then the guy over here, same line, he don't like that, so he not breeding those ones. You know what I mean? It really just depends on and that's the thing that I've learned over the years. It's with every breed. It really just like people will always ask me like, what breed this or what breed that, and the breed to me ain't as important as who. Right? Who has the dog? Right? That's a little bit. I can get more information by knowing who has the dog than what breed it is. But yeah, I mean, typically, I think most people who have American Bulldogs, farm dogs, you can't be dog aggressive to inside your pack. You don't really see that a whole lot, but it can have. They are dogs. They are. They're domestic animals, but I mean, they still got a wild nature. So you know what I mean? So you just never really know until you go meet the man behind the dogs. That's Major right there.
That's Major right there.
That's Major. Yeah.
That's Major. Is Major Soma's son?
Yeah, Major and Hubble, son and daughter.
Wow,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That Major is a monster, bro. He is a.
He showed those traits when he was little, though. I seen him. I was like,
yeah. I took him to a bite work competition. He wasn't in it. He was probably like 4 months old. And I'm just walking around, kind of showing him off, kind of like, and people who kind of knew me from Instagram or YouTube, they would come and be like, hey, and he's 4 months. I'm thinking he's going to be cool. He's trying to kill everybody. He was trying to take everybody. And I'm like, oh, so I took him back a few months later to put him in the competition, and he was the show, bro. People were like, he's a puppy. He's serious. He ain't just He ain't just out here for a bite sleeve. He don't give a damn about a sleeve. He don't care about none of that. He out here he kind of in your life every time.
Yeah.
And as a puppy, he was like that, bro. And Moon was the same way. Moon was at the puppy. She was the same way, very, very early, just like that, bro. And Major's mom was the same way too, just like that. And those are the kind of things that I was looking for. I was looking. Major's mom was a slower to mature dog, but she was so fire in that I was okay with that because as long as I know that, I know what to do with when I get ready to breed. I know what to expect when I get ready to breed it. You know what I'm saying? And Major, he ain't as slow to mature as her, but he is as vicious, he is as deadly, he is as mean as her. He's no joke, bro.
Yeah. So Kyle, he said you had a female, she was good, but would flip a switch on the back. Yeah. Sometimes that is, it's always one flaw that the person have. You ain't gonna have no perfect dog, bro.
No. And that can happen in any pack. So Moon is kind of like that too. All the other dogs will play just fine. Moon kind of gets serious after she get tired. You know what I'm saying? She, I'm like, okay, come on, put your ass up. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of one of the reasons I don't have, because I also will put their ass up. I'll put them up. You know what I'm saying? If I see some shit, because I watch so much, I could tell what I always say, like, okay, you say the Tiger King, Joe, whatever his name is, the Tiger King. Yeah. Dude knows a ton about tigers, about big cats. He knows a lot. And then you go take somebody who National Geographic says, hey, I want you to be a cameraman and follow these lions around for 3 years so we can get some information. That dude knows a lot too. I'm more like that dude, right? Where I'm out here with them all day, every day. I can feel it. I can feel what's different. You ain't gotta make a bunch of noise. I can kind of feel when it's shifting in. And then as a handler, I know to ease that out, put them back up. I kind of tell them, this is the space I want y'all to be in. By rewarding this kind of energy, when I put one up and do all the kinds of reward that energy, they stay in that space as long as I'm around. And I don't really got no issues. But yeah, you gonna no pack is perfect. You know what I mean? You're gonna have some issues. Moon actually got into a fight with Major a few months ago. They got into a real fight a few months ago.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It was kind of like, and I'm thinking like, okay, they're gonna stop. And they did them. You say what?
So you had to break it up a little bit?
I had to go get them.
But if you think about it though, you might have brothers and sisters or something that it get real serious. Yeah. And then it might not happen with once every 10 years. So that's kind of that don't mean
And again, like I said, they domestic dogs, but they got the nature in them is wild though, right? It's still the same wild nature that's in any other animal like that. So you just gotta kind of
shout out to my man Sinful Bulls. He got a question for you. He said, can you say Void got that too?
Oh, Void
is that the other
like too? Yeah, Void is fire too. I think Void's more like Soma, where Void is with all the shit. Void is incredible. Void might be the best puppy RogueWolf that I ever produced. He might be better than Soma when it's all said and done.
So is that Hubble and Major's litter mate?
No, that's a Moon. I bred Moon to Soma. That's one of their puppies.
Recent? So you had a recent breeding?
Yeah.
The ones that's all black. Those
yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that one. I was still stuck on Gray and Major. Tell us about that one. Okay.
That's a bet. I mean, so I had 4 puppies in that litter, all 4 fire in their own way. So what I was looking for when I did that litter was, I know that in order to kind of keep the dogs in the direction that I want to keep them in, I have to have some herder in the future. I got to do that in the future. And I don't trust the bull herders that I see out there to produce what I need in a dog. I trust Moon to do it, right? So I bred her to so much I kind of get that bull herder that I needed, right? What I got was 3 dogs that are more driven like a bulldog. And then I got 1 puppy, the one I kept is more driven like a herder. High drive, super twitchy, want to do everything. And I got that because that's what I need in the future. I know I'm gonna need this herder style dog in the future to keep this going. I might as well get it for myself. But that litter turned out incredible, bro. That Void, I had them on hogs already. Incredible.
How old are the puppies?
5 months. 5 months now.
Wow. So for those who don't know, I haven't met Lamont in person yet, but we always be missing each other. The place that I go to test my dogs on hogs, because I don't really. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really do hog hunting. I might test them one time just to check it, but they be more serious. Him and New Dog Man. So one day we'll meet up in person. Maybe get some boys on there. Yeah,
I'm going soon. I'll give you the details when we get off here. I'm going soon.
Yeah.
But I took him. Got busy, bro. He got nasty. He's 4 months old. Got busy.
That's great.
In bite work, no joke already. He is. I mean, he just gets it all, and he's one like, Birdie. He's like that. He's super highly trainable. When it's time to go in that mode, he's like, Soma, what are we doing? What do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? Oh, this is how I'm supposed to do it. Oh, I'm going to show out now. That's how he is. He gets busy. He's no joke. But again, I go back to what I said. It takes the dog and the handler. It takes both of that. His handler, fire, bro. She's fire too. So, but yeah.
Is that her in the thing? Sinful Bulls? That's her?
No. That's the homie. No.
Oh, okay. I saw. Yeah, because
no.
Oh yeah. So shout out to you. Yeah, shout out to you, Nula. I always love to see people get there. I love to see the development. It's amazing. From what it takes 63 days to dog to be born, about 9 weeks.
Yeah.
To see them just blossom is an amazing gift for all of us. Make sure y'all smash the thumbs up. I'm here with my man Lamont the Scientist. You heard it here first. If you get a bull herder and you don't get it from Lamont the Science, don't come at me talking about. Don't come at me because I already told y'all what to do. I already told y'all. If you want to go hunting, go ahead and get one. If you want protection, go ahead and get one. If you want predator defense, if you want to do obedience, if you want to do dock diving, I be seeing this dog swimming and everything. He can do it all. He can definitely do it all for sure.
Another thing that I do so when I get a puppy, the litter can be 1 or it can be 21. I'm going to check every puppy, and I'm also going to make sure before that puppy leaves that it is in great shape. My puppies, like I said, we checking nerves. We going swimming before they leave here. We going on walks before they leave here. We going out in public before they leave here. They learning prey games before they leave here. We doing all of that. I'll be able to tell you everything about how that puppy's going to end up if you're a decent handler. I do. These puppies are so well prepared. These puppies, all of my dogs when they leave. You can take one of these. You can take a puppy from me, and go home, put it in a crate, go to sleep. You're gonna wake up. That dog gonna sleep through the night. You're gonna have because I do that too. Before they leave, they get in their own crates. And I'll deal with the crying and all that kind of stuff before you get the puppy. And you got to deal with it. So by the time you come, this ain't nothing to this dog. I mean, they kind of go right into their new lives. Head up, tails up every time, bro. Every time.
So, where did you speaking on the RogueWolf project, bull herders? 5 years in the year we in 2031. Where do you want your RogueWolf project to be at? Do you want the size to be the same? Do you want to increase it, decrease it? What other traits are you looking to even add on to 5 years down the line for your RogueWolf project to keep them still as the premier, in my opinion, one of the best bull herders in the world?
I think so. What I'm gonna do going forward, I think Major is my he'll be my RogueWolf dog foundation. It won't be Soma anymore. I'll still use
Soma spot. Come on.
So, but that's because Soma will still be used for other things, and he'll still be in there too. In my opinion, I'm gonna say this publicly. In my opinion, Soma is. Now, at the top of every kind of breed or style of dogs, they're all the same, right? Yeah. They're at the top. They're everybody's close at the top. Soma's at the top, though. He is one of the top bull herders of all times in the world, and that's without any wins at kind of. And he has wins at competitions, but even minus that, overall dog, I'll put him against anyone ever. But Major kind of fits a little bit more of what I want out of those dogs. I want that super mean, super suspicious, but also super hot. Major learns just as good as Soma. He's a little bit longer, a little bit leaner. He's a little bit more useful in a personal protection scenario because, like I said, he'll gonna hurt you. He mean, but Soma is going to do something bad to you.
Mm.
Like I'm leaving him over here in the bulldog so we can hunt with him and hog hunt and all that kind of stuff. But so what I want is something a little bit more like Major. But again, I always say a good dog can change the direction at any moment. If I breed Major to Hubble and I get a dog, I'm like, woo, now this is the direction right here. Then I'll do that. But what I see going forward is just kind of more of what I got out of Major. I like that size. I like everything about him really. And then just probably a little bit more clarity sometimes. Sometimes Major gets when he's like that, I can still work with him, but he might lose himself sometimes in that he just, you know what I mean? And that's he's a herder. He's a ton of herder in there. So Hubble's not like that, right? So what I plan on doing, and it's a thin line trying to keep that super meanness and have that, right? It's a thin line, but I can do it though, right? I know how to do it, and that's kind of what I'm playing with, and that's kind of why I created Lobo, the one of those, that puppy I just told you about, the black dog, Summer of the Moon. But yeah, I want a little bit more clarity in there when they're working, and then everything else about him is super nice. He could probably be a little bit more solid, because I also want phenotypically them to be a little bit different than most bull herders too. I want you to be able to look at my dogs and be like, oh no, that's a RogueWolf instead of just a typical bull herder. So and Major gives me that though. Like you look at him, you can guess bull herder, but you might be like, what is that? Is he you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, you know what I mean? Because his ears don't go up. He got like a big head, and you know what I mean? So I think another thing is I have to figure out a way, because my dogs, their tails, I don't want to clip tails just yet, but I got to breed that out. They tails smack shit in his blood. They come in my house, bro, it's like a crime scene, because they wag their tail everywhere, you know what I mean? So
you're not gonna clip them?
So I'll clip them, but I want to get that out naturally first, right? I want to naturally breed.
Oh, I didn't know you could do it naturally. Okay.
So I could do it naturally by finding, you know what I'm saying, finding a dog who, because you know every dog don't do that, right? But Soma has every dog that Soma has had, every single one of them. Moon don't do it. It don't, you know what I'm saying? Moon don't do it. I've had other dogs, they, you know what I'm saying, like. But I want to kind of like, I got to try to figure out, and I might have to give them a little bit more of a herder tail. They got like a bulldog whip tail, right? Like maybe give them a little bit more of a, but this is just phenotype stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Because I like the clip. I like the size that it tells it. Yeah. So you anti cropping? Do you allow your?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not anti cropping. Yeah, no.
Don't tell me Lamont is anti.
No, I'll do all that.
Adopt, don't shop.
No. But my thing is, but what I'm trying to do, I gotta know what's natural first, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll do all that. I want my people who get one, crop them, do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do all that. But for me, doing what I'm doing, I need to know what's natural so I can know what I need to fix or what I want to keep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wanted to like post their ears, right? I was gonna crop their ears. But I'm like, I can't crop them yet. I got to see how they turn out, right? I want to know what I'm getting most of the time when I'm doing this. So for people who don't crop them, you know what I'm saying? Or if I want erect ears, I need to know that I need to still work on that, right? I want that kind of, but I don't really care that much about it. It'd just be cool in my mind. If I can get that down the line, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? But, but it is what it is. But I mean, in 5 years, I want some more clarity, in them dogs, and just a little bit more consistency between the males and the females, right? Whether they all become super hunters or they all become super driven dogs. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit more females, yeah.
Okay, so let me make sure y'all smash the thumbs up. I'm here with my man representing the Show Me State, Lamont the scientist. So you keep mentioning dog handler, and I'm glad you said that, because I myself feel like the handler is very, very, very responsible on the development of the dogs beyond just what the genetics are. I'm big on epigenetics. What are some things that you say that handlers do that make them a great handler, and what are some things that handlers do that you say that's not good and it's kind of red flags?
So I do. So handlers that are super breed specific, right? When they come to me and super breed specific, right? They say, I want to get a cane corso because they were bred to do such and such, right? That's kind of what I'm like, if you believe that, then I don't really know if this is for you, because you might think that just getting the dog is enough, right? I don't want that kind of handler, really, right? Like you hear people say, oh, this dog used to, I'll use the Borbal. I always use the Borbal as an example. People are like, oh, this dog was hunting lions. If you believe, if you think that that's true, if you believe that,
so you said that's Cat? You said that's Cat?
Super Cap, big Cap.
Nah, I don't know if that's Cap though. He might be telling the truth though, bro. Like not hunting, they could be just, if you got 10 verbals and a female lion.
Think about this. No, bro. Think about this.
Let's look at this. Have you watched the Discovery show? You see those hyenas? It'd be like 10 hyenas and they be kind of like
scared. They be scared, bro. One of them.
Hyenas. No, hold on. Hyenas are bigger than Borbals, right?
They're bigger than Borbals. They're wild. Their nature is way bigger than their nature is way stronger than a Borbals, right?
So that could be Cap. That could be Cap though. Yeah. Maybe it was. I gotta research that one.
Wild African dogs don't approach lions. A lion could be killing a wild African dog puppy. It'd be 30 of them. They're not approaching a lion. You think a Borbal who eating Purina is going to get it? Hell no. Hell no.
I gotta hold me on that. I'm not sure if it's Cap though. Hold me on that because they could just be. Yeah, I gotta see.
But hold up. But the thing about it is that even if in Africa somebody's hunting lions with Borbals, the Borbal you get from Cincinnati, they ain't hunting lions. You know what I mean? Like the dude who bred his Borbals in Cincinnati, he bred them because they were big. Your Borbals are bred to be big. That's it. They weren't bred to do nothing but be big. And that's what people miss when they super breed specific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Like those are the things that I like a handler who has a plan already, who already has a plan, who knows what they're going to do, knows how to get to it, right? Who's going to get to it. If I give you a dog and I'm getting a video of you doing some luring or something on day one, I'm like, oh, okay, they about to do their thing. You know what I'm saying? You changing positions and doing all that. I'm like, oh, okay. I want people who want a relationship with their dog, people who really I don't want somebody who just wants the dog, who think I'm going to put it, because I've had this happen. People who see my dog, see what I'm doing, and they're going to get one, put it in a cage, put it in a chain, bring it out at 10 months, and it's going to act like my dog's acted. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like you ain't, you know, and it's possible, right? But it's also possible that you just fucked it up. It's also possible that you get that dog back. I've had dogs leave, go, and seem like they wasn't nothing. Come back to me 2 weeks later, getting busy, because I'm building confidence. I'm showing steps, right? I'm showing that this here leads to this, and then we can apply this same thing to bite work or to hog hunting or to whatever else it is we doing. I understand that. So I like handlers who are like that. Now, again, I'm an expert. I don't expect there ain't many expert handlers out there, to keep it real. Everybody else is either, not everybody, I won't say that. Most people are average at best. Most people know as much about a dog as they do an iguana, right? I give a person an iguana, they're gonna say, okay, I need to get it a cage, a branch, and a light. You don't know nothing about how it survives, how to bathe it, what to do with its nails, how to feed it, what kind of nutrition it needs, what kind of exercise. We don't know nothing about, you know, iguanas in the wild, how they behave. You don't know nothing about that. And it's the same with dogs. They know get a leash, a cage, some dog food, name it. That's about as far as most people go. Now, some people are better at spending time with the dog, but as far as like really trying to sit down and understand it, build a relationship, build some communication with it, most people aren't like that. But the people that are, those are the kind of people that I'm kind of looking for when I want to give a dog to somebody. A person like that can get a dog from me damn near free, bro. Damn near for free if people like that. But somebody who's learning and trying to, who may or may not commit to a relationship with the dog, then that's a red flag for me.
Right. Yeah. So you heard it there. It's that I'm big on that handler stuff. So for people that's new to breeding, since you got so much experience, what secret like tips or that you have as far as just because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a breeder. I never did it before. So what tips do you have for people that's breeding as far as to have a successful breeder? What position if they in the house, like what are you gonna have to do to make sure that the female is able to be the best mother that she can be?
So first of all, choose a good female. She's gonna pass a lot of shit down to the puppies, just naturally through genetics, but also through just activity, right? Choose a great female, the one that who kind of goes in the direction of what you want to do. I'll take Moon for example. I could put Moon outside with my puppies, and Moon will see a rabbit. She knows exactly what to do. 2 days later, the puppies are out there by themselves. They saw Moon doing it. They know what's up. They know. I mean, they already have the genetics and the instincts. But Moon can take them through so much. We out hiking. Moon, we cross a creek. Moon crosses, no hesitation. The puppies don't even think. They just following Moon. They gone into. If I were to take them and put them, it might be a little build up I got to do. But with Moon, she's just going to lead them right to it. All of these things. I mean, just a ton of things that she's able to teach them. All spring pole. All my dogs kind of took to the spring pole following Moon, right? Fetch. They all took to that following Moon. And these are all stuff that we apply to other areas later on. But wow. Choose a good female, choose a great female. She has to raise your puppy. She has to teach your puppies. Choose a great female, and then just kind of, be observant, spend time. Like I said, I've been doing so long, I don't got to write stuff down. Write down everything you see and understand that everything means something, right? If you want to have a successful litter of puppies, understand that everything means something. Choose a good female. Don't choose a male based on name. Go see him. Go see that dog. Don't just go see him and then breed to him that day. Go really see him do some stuff. Go put your hands on him if you can. Go understand everything about him. Some dogs might be big but light, right? Big but light bones. Some, you know what I mean? Is that what you want? You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? It's a ton of things that you got to see. So for me, if I'm new and I want to say have a successful litter, that's the thing. First thing, choose a great female. Test her, check her out. And then go see the male, do the same thing with the male, and then test them, check them out. And then you kind of set yourself up for decent, right in that. But then you got to also be prepared when the puppies come to start checking them immediately too. And then keep it real with yourself. You can't have a lot of pride in the dog. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not putting no work in. But if you are, you got to don't make your work in vain. Keep it real with yourself. Do not waste your time. I'm not saying don't love your dog if it don't work out. Still love the dog and do the best, do right by it. But keep it real with yourself about what you got, what you're seeing, and and then go from there. You're not gonna have, if you lying to yourself, you're not gonna have successful litters, and everybody around you will know that you are lying to yourself. We all gonna know that you are kennel blind or that you're lying to yourself. So the easiest thing you can do is keep it real with yourself when you get ready to breed a dog. And if you do that, you're gonna have litters.
I was gonna ask you about kennel blindness. I was gonna ask you how you deal with that. So that's good that I think that's important. Like to be successful, if you're selling working dogs, kennel blindness, and you got to be able to call out your program. Like if it don't work out, because everything is not gonna work out. Like it's just not.
Yeah. And I've had to call dogs, you know what I'm saying? I've had to call, it's part of it. If you really are about the dogs, which I am, I'm not about popularity. I'm not about money. I'm really just about the dogs. I would do this if nobody saw me, you know what I'm saying? Nobody saw me doing it. I would still be doing exactly what I'm doing, bro. So, if you keeping it real and you keeping it really about the dogs, I think kennel blindness comes when people are about money or when people are about popularity or their pride or something like that. You think so? And if you keep it real.
Yes, that's probably it too. But it's probably also, how humans are. We do it's hard for us to admit when we're wrong.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that's part of it too. So you gotta have friends that'll tell you the truth, even if it hurts your feelings. Like, bro, that dog ain't it.
That's true.
You be mad, but that dog ain't it. That's
Hey,
how
bro.
you have
Yeah.
friends.
And those are the best people to have around you, bro. Those are when I got somebody like that around me, it feels good. I can trust that person and I can trust what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? When I got people like that, I know they're gonna see if that bullshit, if it's some bullshit, and be like, and I'm appreciative of those people. You know what I'm saying? So, but me personally, I have learned to keep it real with myself, you know what I'm saying, over the years. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I was always an expert, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't always an expert, you know what I'm saying? But now I am, and you know what I'm saying? And you don't get that until you start keeping it real with yourself.
So who would you, this is a great question to my man, Razorback Mike. Who was the dog man he has learned the most from? Great question. Who would you say? Who would you say is the dog man? Because you got the natural, like, you got the Caesar Milan where you just connect with your dogs. Like, you got the Caesar Milan vibes.
Yeah. I learned a lot from the guy who's my decoy. And again, so I guess I didn't really have any mentors, really. I didn't really have no mentors in the dog game. I learned most from the dogs. The dogs taught me 99.9% of everything, but I do pick up some stuff from a ton of other people. If I would be going all day if I really named them. But to be honest with you, Mike, the most of the stuff that I learned, because I be closed off, man. I be closed off. I don't even be knowing what's going on in the dog world most of the time. You know what I mean? I be closed off. I got a few friends in the dog game. But I be closed off. They got to come and tell me what's going on. And then I don't even have an opinion about it. I see it, and because I've been here so long, bro. I've seen everything happen 10 times. You know what I'm saying? So, but mostly the dogs taught me the most. But I do, like I said, my decoy, guys who hunt dogs. My dog knew, you know what I'm saying, because he lives like a different life with his dog. He hunts with them, and it's a different thing that you got to understand. You got to understand dogs the same, but the processes is a little different. The end outcome is a little different. I learned from, say, like watching Lee too. You know what I'm saying? I learned some. I pick up stuff from like certain breeders where I'm like, oh, that is a good idea.
That's
right
the
there,
best
right?
way to
You know
do it. And you use it.
It's not like I'm not doing it already, but sometimes it's like, oh, you know what?
That's a reminder that you're doing something right.
Yeah. It's kind of like that kind of reminder. But I mean, yeah, I would be going all day, man. If I said, I mean, everybody that is somewhat seasoned. I will say this. I'm gonna keep it real. Younger people in the dog game, I don't learn shit from. I know it is a reminder of, because sometimes you do need a reminder of what not to do sometimes, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But anybody who's seasoned, no matter what their role is in the dog world, whether it's a trainer, whether it's a handler, whether it's a breeder, I'll look at them and kind of see what they're doing, whether it kind of goes along with what I'm doing or not. And it kind of puts some perspective, kind of giving me some perspective, right? If I see somebody who's having a seasoned breeder or handler who has 30 dogs and he's having trouble, I'm like, okay, I see what's happening there, right? I keep that in mind if you go down that 30 dog road, you know what I'm saying, that road, or just kind of things like that. But as far as like tips and how to, it's very rare, you know what I'm saying, that I get something like that. But I watch everybody, listen to everybody, respect everybody, but it's very rare that I kind of like learn dog stuff from most people. It's usually like technical stuff, like technical terms or things like that. But I didn't have a mentor. It's just been me and the dogs, really, Mike, to keep it real.
Yeah. So that's amazing. So when people get a puppy from you, do they tell you what they want and do you pick it out for them? That's what it sounds like. You be like, this would be, or do you let them pick it out?
So it's a little bit of both. What I do is I'll tell them everything the dog is. Every single puppy, I'll tell them everything I notice, right? I'll tell them and then when I say it's a lot, right? I give them a ton of information. Even at 8 weeks, I give them a ton of information. I tell them about the parents, what they were doing when I saw the same thing, what it translated to. I tell them what I'm seeing, the level of it, because there's levels to everything you see. There's levels to drive, there's levels to defense, there's levels to prey drive, there's levels to fear, there's levels to all of that. And I kind of give them all of that stuff. And then I'll let them choose, right? I kind of like trying to lead them away. Some people, though, I mean, it's inevitable that somebody's gonna come and want the biggest puppy just because it's the biggest. Somebody's gonna want the brown one because it's the only brown one. You know what I'm saying? It's inevitable that that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I try to put them in the best situation possible. But it's at the end of the day, I still say to myself, I gave them everything they needed. I'm gonna trust them, and then I just kind of make sure that I'm a resource, right? If I that's the thing that I also learned over the years is be a resource, right? Even if they pay for the dog, they pay for me for the rest of the dog's life, right? They pay to be able to call me for the rest of their dog's life. Yeah, I mean, I try to do that, but it don't always work out. Humans are crazy, you know what I mean? So
yeah. So that sounds like you got some time for a few more questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bro. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
we getting it in. We getting it in, baby. So, so if you had a choice, if you could only do one thing, would you do protection work or were you hunting? Because I tell people, hog hunting is very, very, very addictive. So what would you do if you had a choice to only do one?
Let me tell you, bro. That is a fire question, bro. That is a fire. You put me on the spot here, and I hope. That is a fire question because so I'll say this. It's tough because protection work for me is highly necessary. Shout out right on. Protection work for me is very necessary, right, in my life. The life that I grew up living. At this point, my life is a little bit calm, but I'm still a little bit kind of like wish you would kind of attitude. I'm still kind of walking around like that. You know what I'm saying? So having Soma and Major Hubble is necessary. As far as getting a real sense of who the dog is, though, there's nothing like hog hunting. There ain't nothing like that. I mean, maybe dog fighting. Maybe you can probably see what I'm saying, but I don't do that. You know what I mean? We don't do that. But there is nothing because that's nature. That ain't me. That's just nature. That's them. In nature. And we're gonna see all the tools nature gave you. We're gonna see how you feel about all this, who you are. That's just them. And that tells me so much more about my dogs than bite work because I could take there's a border collie at our bike club that gets busy. She ain't gonna bite shit if you let her loose though. But she gets busy, you know what I mean? It don't really tell me. It tells me she has high play. She plays. She actually likes to play. You know what I mean? But if I had to choose just one, it would be protection because again, it's more necessary in my life. If my life was great. It's hog hunting all the way. Hog hunting all the way. If I lived in a gated community, we going hog hunt. Because like I said,
addiction, bro. It's really addictive. It's real addictive, yo.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially if your dog does it. If your dog gets out there and gets busy, I want to go. If I live closer, I'll be there every weekend, bro.
So do you feel like a dog? Let's talk about nerves and prey drive. If you had a choice, if it was a video game and you was putting the attributes for the RogueWolf project on there, what are the numbers that you want if you couldn't have all 10s? What are the numbers looking like for prey drive, defense drives, and nerves that you want your ideal dog to have as far as the numbers up to 10?
Nerves, 8 or above. For nerves, 8 or above. And I say so, but with that, recovery would be 10. I'm okay with a little bit of apprehension, right? But the recovery has to be a 10, right? So nerves 8, recovery 10.
That's a good
one. Defense, it's like I said, it's levels to that, and then the nerves kind of play a role. But if I got good nerves, I would like a 10 in defense too, because it's just the kind of dog that I like, right? It's the kind of dog I like. Prey drive, I would say a 7. I need about a 7 at least. And then ability to learn, I need probably an 8 at least. And then adaptability, people we don't talk about a lot, I need that to be about an 8 at least.
Would you say adaptability and recovery is kind of related?
Yeah. I mean, it's all related. You know what I'm saying? It's all related in a way, right? You know what I'm saying? Nerves, adaptability,
Well,
recovery, you know what I'm saying? But they
because
are
a dog that can adapt quickly is usually going to recover.
real
The
quickly.
dog that's slow to
Yeah,
recover ain't going to adapt usually. In a
yeah,
sense, it's
yeah,
kind of like interchangeable.
yeah. But like I said, it's like I like a dog that um we can do one thing in one place 100 times. I take it to a brand new place. I want you to be able to do that here too. You know what I mean? I want you to then go over here, and I want you to still be. I want you to still be as engaged with me as you were over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When the conditions were great, now conditions are not so great. I want you still as engaged. I want you still here doing that. I want you to be able to go from this job to that job to this job to that job with the same level of drive to do the job that you had at the last one. You know what I mean? Like that's in a perfect world. That's what I want, right? You know what I'm saying? But there's some variation to that I'll take in there. So I'll give an example. Hubble, Major, and Soma, you can be 50 yards away. I say get them. They go in and go get you. Hubble, you probably got to be a little bit closer. She's gonna posture and do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And she stay on you. You can watch you. She's gonna stay on you. She's gonna growl. You got to be a little bit closer, and then she'll, you know what I'm saying? But the end outcome is the same. She's going to get busy. You know what I'm saying? She's going to get just as busy, right? So, like I said, it's levels to all of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she wasn't going at all, right? That's a 5 or less. Or 6 or less. I ain't deaf. That's a problem, right?
Yeah.
She will go. I would say she's about an 8 there, right? You know what I'm saying? She ain't a 10 there. And then I would say Major and Soma are probably an 8 prey drive, just because they're a little bit easier to turn off when they see prey. They don't get busy if they allowed to get busy. Hubble is a 10. She is tough to turn off. You know what I'm saying? When there's prey, you know what I mean? So, it all just, you know what I'm saying? But I think I don't want less than an 8 in almost anything really. I'm shooting for 10s, but I don't want less than 8 in any of those things.
So some of your clients that may be looking for a dog with an 8 prey drive for some people is too much. We got to know that. Some people don't like that. What would you say is your average for your puppies? Is they always 8 and up, or do you got some that may be a 6? Or because, like I said, everybody is like, some dogs will drive you crazy if they got too much prey drive.
Yeah, no, my dogs. So far, what I've gotten is they're 8s and up. I mean, here every time, even in the predator defense dogs, I thought it might be a little bit less because of the dogs used to make those dogs. But Moon is super high, and the dog that I used was super high too, and the dogs in that family were super high prey drive too. But yeah, no, I haven't yet, and I hope I don't. Honestly, I mean, if 8 is too much for most people. But you just don't get one of these dogs. You know what I mean?
These dogs ain't for you, yeah. Go to the shelter and adopt your dog. Pay that $500 for the shelter and get you a shelter dog, buddy.
Yeah. I like to keep. I like it because of what I breed for me mostly. I breed for what I like. I really don't have customers in mind when I breed my dogs. I breed the dog that I need. Now I have customers in mind when I rehome them. So say like a dog like Major, I know most people can't handle that. When I breed, I'm gonna breed him to Hubble eventually. And those are 2 explosive dogs. Those probably won't go to the public. You know what I'm saying? Most people can't handle that. They can't handle those dogs. They probably stay with me and people that I'm close to. Soma to Hubble, people can probably handle those a little bit more, even though it's still all of that same shit. It's still a little bit less of the super man aggressiveness. Yeah. Maybe so man aggressive, he'll jump the fence if he's you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like no man Hubble ain't doing that. They go, you know what I'm saying? They go, but
who you said to jump the fence? Who you said to jump the fence?
Major. He's so man aggressive.
Yeah, Major.
Yeah, and most people can't handle that. So when I breed him. And I'm only gonna breed him to dogs like him, right? I'm only gonna breed him to dogs just like that, right? Who are like that, because that's what he's good for. Ain't no point in me trying to water that down or kind of change it up. I'm gonna stay in that lane with him because that's who he is, and he's a great dog. If he had a bunch of negative traits, then no, I wouldn't breed him if that was all he had. But he's a great dog. So we just gonna take you in that direction. And most people can't handle those dogs, and I know that, but I'm breeding for me. So you know what I mean.
So we talking about the working abilities. How are they just around the house when they're not working? How's their off switches?
Beautiful, bro.
So they not crackheads or nothing running.
Beautiful, bro. Now I will say this: no, they're not like crackheads. No, Major and Hubble. Major, he's always kind of running the yard, but he's more on patrol. He sees a bird, he's going to go get the bird. He sees he's kind of like running around, smelling, doing stuff. Hubble, she gonna lay down and chill. Now she might get bored and go dig a hole if she smell a mole or something like that. You know, I go out there, she caught a mole damn near every other weekend. You know what I mean? I got a big hole in my yard, something like that. But yeah, no, I mean the off switch is fire, bro. The that's the other thing is that I want my dogs to be not just a tool. I want them to be part of their family because that's how I raise. That's kind of how I raise them. I want them to have a temperament that my son go outside, they lose their mind. They love him, but they all in his lap, licking him. He could walk them. He could discipline him. He could put them up and all that kind of stuff.
Amazing.
Like they love him. They love the family, bro. Like when I went to go breed Moon to the Bulldogs that created Soma, one of the things that they were telling me is like, man, these dogs are so great with the family from day one. He's like, I mean, he's a 140-pound dog, some of them, and he's like, they have never turned through discipline or through possession. They've never turned at us with any, and Soma's the same way. I go out, I mean, he is a big baby to me and to the family, and so is Major, Hubble. They all roll up. I mean, but somebody coming around here tripping or animal, and it's up, and it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, they are. That's the reason I can go play frisbee in the park with them. I can go play fetch in the park off leash and all that kind of stuff because they're just such great companion dogs at the same time.
That's amazing right there. So that's what people need. If you got a family, you want you want your dog to be able to do that. So we talked about the kennel blindness. You said where you wanted to have your dogs. Is there anything else about the RogueWolf project? Any like exclusive information or information that people, because any information that you wanted to clarify, because sometimes just being on social media, people can look at your videos and be like, oh, this had one perception of something, but be totally off. And you don't got time to be arguing with nobody in the comments.
Yeah.
I got time to be arguing. Yeah. Anything. I think
the one thing people don't get is like my main goal when I kind of started doing this is that, and I think I probably said this on our first interview, my main goal was and still is, I miss those days where families had a dog and that dog could do everything. It could play with the kids. It was going to go out the house. It was going to catch raccoons that came into the trash. You can take it to the beach with you when you go on vacation. I miss those. I miss dogs being like that for the family. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. That's why I show so many different aspects of what my dogs are, so people can see that and think, oh, I can have this dog and just go for a bike ride with it. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, go to bike work next week or go catch a hog or dispatch a raccoon. You know what I mean? Like that's the main goal. I think people think that I just have dogs for bike or for like aggressive activity, right? They kind of miss the bike rides, the frisbee, the fetch. They kind of miss that stuff. But these are first just the all-around dog for the family, like we had in the 80s, like we had in the 90s or early 2000s before, you know, kennel clubs got super, super huge and money became, you know what I mean? Like I just kind of want to take these dogs back to that. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I hope to do with the Soma dogs, kind of, you know what I'm saying, than the major dogs. But that's kind of my goal. I think people see this stuff and think that that's all they do. I mean, and they're so much more than that. All day, I got 3 dogs in heat, and I got them outside in the yard playing right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody outside in the yard playing, chilling right now. Nothing going on, no sound, no nothing. You know what I mean? I go out there with a ball. They all gonna play. They all gonna fish. They all gonna have fun. And that's kind of the thing I wanted to bring back with these dogs.
That's amazing. So, what advice would a 2026 Lamont give to the 2010 Lamont, 2000 early 2000s Lamont? What advice would you give him?
I would say work harder, spend more time just doing the shit that you love. I mean, I did get into a point. I mean, there were points in my life where, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I bred St. Bernards for a second.
Oh, wow.
But for what? I wouldn't waste my time.
St. Bernard, you the first. I ain't never, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste my time. I mean, it wasn't a waste of time. I learned a lot, but I would focus more on what that was kind of a money thing, right? I love the dogs. Don't get me wrong, and I did right by the dogs. I worked them, I trained them, I did all that kind. We did all that stuff, but I was focused more on real true relationships with the dogs, you know what I'm saying? And then I would get a lot more out of them. I was kind of half in, half out, and half in, but half into some other shit at that time too.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I could go back, I would have done this a long time ago. And so I was kind of doing it when I was breeding pit bulls. People would say they were scatterbred, but I was winning those. I was winning. I was doing so good that, but I would do more for the dogs earlier on than I did. You know what I'm saying? Now it's all about the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just all about the dogs. But I think earlier on it was like, I had a mixture of things, coming up in the hood, like, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of, you know what I mean? But I would drown out the noise. I would focus on the dogs and everything good because, and if I'm talking to me in 2006, everything good is coming. It's coming. Just focus on the dogs and everything good is coming. So anybody who's watching this, if you young and you're kind of doing this thing, everything good is coming. If you just keep it about the dogs, it's gonna always turn out good. No breed got to where it's at today without somebody at some point keeping it all about the dogs. So I mean, the breeds might get messed up down the line, but in order to get them to even recognizable, some person at some point was all about that dog, all about those dogs, and everything good came from that. And for me too, eventually, at this point, you know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So besides putting performance over pedigree, as well as not getting kennel blindness, and being able to read your dog, what are some other traits make a good dog breeder? What are some traits that make an excellent dog breeder?
Relationship. You know what I'm saying? I think the best dog breeders have good relationships with the dog that they breed. I'm not saying the top dog breeders, right? The top dog breeders are people who are able to sell dogs, right? But the people who I think are the best dog breeders have good relationships with the dogs they breed. They have a good understanding of the dog that they breed, and they able to prove it to you when you go see them. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I can see all the time people who are pushing out bull herders, and the dogs seem nice. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell they don't have much relationship with the dog. They can't tell me much aside from the dog's working ability, and I think that's the one thing that I think a lot of I won't say a lot, but that's the one thing that I see enough breeders are lacking, especially in the bull herder world. The reason that I stand out, even though I wouldn't say I'm like the most popular bull herder type breeder, but the reason my dogs stand out when we go somewhere and we go do some work and there's other dogs of the like to compare them to, we stand out because of the relationship. Right? They can see that dog is happy to be with me. There's a decoy over here yelling, screaming, doing stuff, doing a bunch of people around, and my dog is just happy to see me. And I say, get him. And the dog looks just like the dog over here that's going crazy, right? This dog been going crazy. They can't shut him up. My dog has the same effectiveness as that dog, but the relationship is 10 times better. And because of that, I understand how to get the dog to win far easier than they do. So
you said relationship, yeah, and yeah. So okay. Anything else you wanted to say before I got it? We call this the rapid fire. I gotta ask you about, since you love animals, I gotta ask you about some other animals. Anything else that you wanted to speak on about the RogueWolf project?
No, let's go, bro. Let's do it.
Okay, so you into animals, right? So this game is called hypothetical. If you could have 3 wild animals, wild, land, sea, and air, what 3 you picking?
I am going wild African dog, of course.
You going African wild dog?
Yeah.
Land, okay.
I'm going that, of course.
Okay.
I would probably say a serval cat. The
Okay.
wild.
Oh yeah, those the joints that be jumping real high.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I would
Okay.
probably go there, and then maybe an otter. I like otter.
Otter?
I think I like otters because the type of mammal that they are, they would be super similar to a dog in my opinion. They're pack animals,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
They
yeah.
kind of give them the same tools. But those are the three that I think I would go to.
What about you? Didn't pick none for the air though. You ain't pick none in the
So
air.
in the air, man. Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to go golden eagle in the air. Because I know they get busy, you know what I mean. I know they come with the claws.
Golden eagle.
Yeah,
That's
I like stuff like that, bro. I like stuff that's going out.
eagles is bad, bro.
I want nothing defenseless.
Those eagles is bad.
Yeah.
And I heard about it's these otters that be going against. You know, Jaguars is my favorite cat. They be going against the Jaguars and they be teaming up and they real fire.
Yeah.
You seen them, right? I was like, wow, that's my first time hearing about them. They serious, like,
bro. They
crazy, like they real aggressive. They different.
Learn about them. They are like they remind me of wild African dogs. The more you learn about them, the more you see them, you're like, oh, these motherfuckers are like dogs.
What's the version?
They're like wolves.
I forget the name of it. It's a certain version. They not the normal ones though.
Yeah, I can't think of
them. I don't know, but they serious because those Jaguars is the real. They eating alligators and everything. They different.
Yeah. I wouldn't want no big cat. I ain't messing with that. I ain't messing with nothing I might not be able to.
Serval was nice though, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If your serval is having a bad day, let's keep it. And your serval wanted to major, you might not have a serval no more.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, but and a serval will mess a human up too. But I just like this. The more I know about them, the more I'm like, okay, these motherfuckers ain't no joke. They nice. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of those animals that I watch closely. I don't really watch TV, bro. I watch documentaries, nature documentaries all day.
Yeah, I do. I missed it. Don't you miss it, bro? They need to bring it back. Oh, we got our own documentary stuff.
I just watch them on the apps, bro. But
I'll be wanting to see it. Then when you watch it on Instagram, they shut off after like 2 minutes. I'm like, I need to see an hour. I need to see an hour.
Yeah.
So Aaron said he'd give you a duck Landseer air. I respect your opinion though, but your duck could be lunch food.
Yeah, it's defenseless. Yeah, it's defenseless.
Duck could be lunch food, your duck, you'll have some nice duck eggs. You can turn them into food.
Yeah, that's food. Yeah, I don't want no food as a pet. No food.
Caveman said an eagle, a wolf, and a bear, all females. You gotta have something for the sea and the air though. That's the whole thing. Oh, he did. Okay, so that's too late. You gotta have something for the sea though. Well, bears they don't be living in the sea. They can swim.
Polar bear live in the sea. Well, I mean, it's a marine animal.
Yeah, but if that polar bear get in there with that orca gonna take care of that polar bear though, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They gonna get taken care of. But they the top though. I think polar bears is the top. I heard polar bears is like they like the most aggressive out of. They like way different than grizzly bears. They on a whole new different level. I heard they crazy aggressive. Like they go after you for real.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
That's what I heard though. I heard grizzlies is aggressive. I heard the regular black bears like they don't really be as aggressive. That's what I'm hearing.
Nah, they gonna run from you. I see them in North Carolina all the time.
Oh, you did? Yeah. But I heard the polars is coming at you. You lunch.
Yeah.
So ducks living all three. Yeah, semi-aquatic. Yeah, duck. You'll have some food though. I respect that though. A duck.
That's food. That's food. That's a meal.
You'll be having the best. Your dogs would be fire. They eat nothing but duck. You can
right.
You selling the air. You crazy. You chose a prey animal. You funny, boy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You gotta live with that thing. Well, I mean, that's the thing though, because I guess most dogs would be, unless you get certain things, they gonna be
Ready to say leopard seal. That's fire. Leopard seal. Hell yeah. They get busy.
Oh, okay. A roast. Yeah. Crazy. Aaron, you crazy, boy. You go, like, do you really want a duck? What is that duck on you? I mean, that'll be just a pet. So you won't want no. So Aaron, he won't want no working animals in the wild.
Right.
He just have pets. You can get your ducks right now, bro. You can do that right now. You can go to any local spot. You can get a duck right now. You start feeding them. But I heard they make for good eggs though too. Yeah. So tell the people, give us some final notes and tell the people where they can find you at. And I appreciate you coming through, man. And once again, congratulations on your new baby girl. You got the Gemini. Welcome to the Gemini world for your daughter.
Hold on, I'm gonna grab her real quick. Hold on.
Okay. Team Gemini, baby. She was just born. Wow. Wow.
Baby.
And the reason why I was bringing it up because he was set to come on last week. I reached out to him, and at the last minute, he was like, "Boom!" I was like, "Man, take care of that first. Your daughter. Oh, that's the most important. Your children. Don't let nobody ever confuse you. Your children come first."
Yeah, I'm glad we still did this, bro. This was fun. I needed this.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah, but anybody who's looking for me, I'm on Instagram and YouTube. It's just RogueWolf Project. I think it's LLC on YouTube. I gotta get back on here. I mean, I it's been a while since we, what I'm saying, since I've been on YouTube doing something, but I gotta get back on there more. But I'm on IG all the time, so check me out there, y'all. And then I'll get back on YouTube probably once we get the baby settled in. I want to start showing Lobo, and then I got some other stuff I want to start showing. So
and make sure if it's something that you might want to, I recommend if it's something that you want to consider as a BullHerder, it's best to develop a relationship with him. I'm telling you, he cool. He let me interview him 3 years ago. I didn't even know him. I was like, bro, and he said, yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes it's not as always easy because people be busy and different things. So you know what I mean, different situations. So make sure y'all develop that relationship with Lamont. And once again, let me check the comments and we out of here, man. You want to trade your otter for a gator? Okay. It's too late now, bro.
You already know.
It's too late, bro. You gotta keep that otter. You gotta get the otter. If you get the otter that he got, the ones that he got, those otters is different, bro. They like.
I think Reddy said. What Reddy say? He said. Not a leopard seal. That's fire. Now that motherfucker fire. That's fire. Leopard seal will be fire.
Seals? Are they up north? Are they where the polar bears be? Up
yeah.
Those seals are serious.
They get busy. Yeah, they get busy.
Yeah, those leopard seals. Those leopard seals is crazy. Yeah, leopards. It's amazing that they how long they can hold their breath? Like 30 minutes. That's crazy. Like that. Yeah, that's crazy if you really think about it. That's crazy, bro. They can hold their breath for 30 minutes.
Nature cold, man. Nature a bad motherfucker.
It's amazing if you think about it. Because I think if we come to talk about it, I know you said he had to go, but I guess I love it so much. I think orcas is on a higher level than great white sharks, right?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, them the wolves of the sea. That's who really run it. Them the wolves of the sea, because they'll kill, they'll kill anything in there. Yeah,
but I heard they're not really aggressive towards human, which is amazing.
I don't know. I ain't trying to find out. I ain't gonna believe that shit. I ain't gonna believe that shit.
You swimming too. RogueWolf Project. You got your own show. That's what I heard. Don't go by me. Don't be like, yeah, Jalik said you could go swim with the Yeah. Oh, only captain. Oh, yeah, that was only captain ones because I seen that show. Yeah, they was doing, but in the wild, I don't think they really aggressive because I mean they're humans. Their brains is like they probably be living to like 70 years. They probably be living to like 60, 70 years old. Like a lot of those whales be older than humans. Yeah. So but once again, y'all, another episode. I appreciate y'all. Everybody that joined us from your channel, I appreciate y'all. I'm Jalik the student. Road to 2,000 subscribers. If y'all haven't got a chance, make sure y'all subscribe. Lamont the scientist. I told y'all right now, if you get a bull herder, make sure you holler at Lamont the scientist. Rogue Wolf Project. We out.
My dog.
And you can stay on.